کنفرانس مطبوعاتی وزیر خارجه و وزیر خزانه‌داری آمریکا.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to welcome Secretary Geithner here to the Treaty Room of the State Department, and I also welcome his team and thank my team for the work that they have been doing with respect to Iran. Recent days have brought new evidence that Iran's leaders continue to defy their international obligations and violate international norms, including the recent plot to assassinate the Saudi ambassador here in the United States, and as verified by the new report from the International Atomic Energy Agency that further documents Iran's conduct of activities directly related to the development of nuclear weapons. Now, this report from the IAEA is not the United States or our European partners making accusations. This is the result of an independent review, and it reflects the judgment of the international community. There have to be consequences for such behavior. So on Friday, Iran was condemned in votes at the UN in New York and at the IAEA in Vienna. And earlier today, the UN General Assembly again strongly reprimanded Iran for continuing human rights abuses, persecution of minorities, and forcible restrictions on political freedom. The message is clear. If Iran's intransigence continues, it will face increasing pressure and isolation. Today, the United States is taking a series of steps to sharpen this choice. First, President Obama signed an executive order that, for the first time, specifically targets Iran's petrochemical industry, a significant source of export revenues and a cover for imports for sanctioned activities. This will allow us to sanction the provision of goods, services, and technology to the petrochemical sector. To accompany this new measure, we will launch a worldwide diplomatic campaign to encourage other countries to shift any purchases of Iranian petrochemical products to other suppliers. Second, in the same executive order, we are expanding sanctions on Iran's oil and gas business. U.S. law already sanctions large-scale investments in upstream exploration and development of oil and gas, and now it will also be sanctionable to provide goods, services, and technology for those activities as well. This will make it more difficult for Iran to work around the sanctions and will further impede efforts to maintain and modernize its oil and gas sector. Third, under an existing executive order, we are designating a number of individuals and entities for their roles in assisting Iran's prohibited nuclear programs, including its enrichment and heavy water programs. Their assets, subject to U.S. jurisdiction, will be frozen, and American individuals and entities will be prohibited from engaging in any transactions with them. And finally, as Secretary Geithner will discuss in more detail, the Treasury Department is formally identifying Iran as a jurisdiction of primary money laundering concern. This is the strongest official warning we can give that any transaction with Iran poses serious risks of deception or diversion. These steps were accompanied today by complementary measures by the UK and Canada, and we expect additional sanctions by other international partners in the days ahead. Together, these measures represent a significant ratcheting up of pressure on Iran, its sources of income, and its illegal activities. They build on an extensive existing sanctions regime put into place by the UN Security Council and a large number of countries, including our own, acting nationally and multilaterally to implement the Council's measures.